Stop knowing things.
Who do you want to stop knowing things?
Just them right now.
The Green Hill Gamer Guild podcast presents The Quick and the Bold, a Masks a New Generation actual play featuring GM Joshua and players Austin, Candise, and Matt. We love creating stories through gaming and hope you enjoy our stories too.
You're not forced to have the playbooks that I put in front of you. I just was splitting them up, but each one's there. They should each have a little info page with them too that kind of tells you what sort of things you can expect if you pick that playbook.
I had two in mind. I was looking to get over them, and I was listening to that one podcast about it just to kind of get a sense of it. Each one of them.
Here.
Yeah. These are the two that I was thinking about.
Reformed or transformed.
It's nice that they rhyme.
That was intentional, right, Matt?
It was not. It was between transformed and the Nova, but...
Oh, okay.
Awesome, you're probably more of the bull.
I mean, to be fair, I'm full of a lot of bull.
Yes. We know that. So, basically, Austin, each thing has like a theme that it's based around. Then what's going to end up happening in the game is going to depend a lot on what the themes are.
Oh yeah, I read through these like 10 times on the page.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, Amy, come here, help me pick. But then she picked ones I didn't like, and I was like, okay, thanks for the help, sweetie.
At least it narrows it down a little, right?
It's like, thank you for making me realize that I don't want to be the Nova.
There's an online game of this that I'm playing in currently.
Mm.
It's on the opposite Wednesday, the other Wednesday. But my two were Janice and Nova. I had ideas for both of them. But they were talking about pet peeves, and somebody was like, I can't stand people who have characters that can do everything. And I'm like, well, that's basically what the Nova is. So I was like, okay, I'll be the Janice.
I think I'll be the Legacy, if no one else wants it.
May I see? No. Thank you.
You are the Legacy. In your own mind.
I mean, it's gotta be in someone's mind, right?
So yeah, as soon as you know what you want, you can start filling the stuff out. The only things that you will not be picking without everybody else's input are these three things.
More.
So the rest of it is as open as you want. Just, follow, do your look, your abilities. You get to add one to one of these. They're currently at what the white ones are at.
Okay.
And I can run you through what all those mean and stuff. You'll fill out your backstory, your legacy stuff, and then pick your moves. Do you have a name in mind, or?
No, that would have been
That's
something
fine.
that
You're fine.
obsess over. Huh?
It's no big deal. I mean, that's what this whole session is basically character creation. If you guys happen to get done before we're done, I've got something I can run for you quickly, but the primary thing that we're doing is getting an understanding of who everybody's character is, how they all fit together, how they know each other, how you guys know each other. Is that the no pile?
And I'm just reading them. I really have no idea.
This is way more in depth than what we were looking at, because we were just looking up on...
Yeah. Did you see this one too?
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I promise no matter what you pick, you'll have fun.
Plain, I'm more of a... If you did that little 3x3 grid of the spectrum, I like being chaotic.
Okay.
Neutral, so I think the Reformed works well for me.
Cool. Now there's a few playbooks that I didn't let you guys have access to because that's what the other group is using. And you guys are technically in the same world, same universe.
I noticed that.
There won't be a whole lot of crossover necessarily.
How many people are in the other?
But 4. They have a beacon, a delinquent, an innocent, and a protege. Did you really want to be the beacon?
I was going to say, so someone over there is being a beacon.
It's Melanie. It's Melanie, of course. It's Melanie, of course. Yeah.
Can you explain the body transmutation and the vitality absorption?
Vitality absorption is kind of like, you can determine how it works, but usually in the comics it's like you touch somebody and you pull their strength into you.
Okay.
And then, what was the other one?
Body transmutation?
The way I've seen it in one of the podcasts I was listening to, he had gotten this alien tech attached to him, so he was able to do really cool things like extend his arm out.
Edward Elric?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, just ask.
Yeah, the powers in this are
very individualized?
Well, it's whatever you want it to be, really. If you can imagine something that fits, I'm cool with it. And the extent of your powers and stuff, that's something we'll figure out in game.
I think I like this one.
Can I ask what geokinesis is?
Controlling the earth, rock,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
And then pherokinesis?
That is Magneto, basically.
Okay.
Controlling metal.
Oops.
Oh, that's fine. Just throw it in there. The unused ones are just gonna stay in a pile behind me anyway.
Look at Mr. Goody Two-Shoes over there. The Legacy.
Oh, your two characters are a lot better than mine. Ooh.
That'll be good.
I don't think necessarily the Doomed is evil.
No, I'm thinking...
No,
Oh, yeah.
she's... From what I've read, it's like... You're...
I die.
Basically.
Maybe
And
not.
she already wants out of the game.
You might not die.
She would have chosen the elves if we had switched seats and she was farther away from you.
That makes sense, and I get it. I can't blame you at all for that.
Don't worry, next person will switch.
Maybe next time you can just video conference me in.
I mean, we could just do a regular Skype call with no video.
No video.
His voice call, please.
Just a conference.
I'm so concerned about my computer breaking
Break out the old carrier pigeons. And...
I promised I wasn't going to make fun of you, but you guys are just making it so many openings. I just have to take some of them.
That's basically the only reason anyone talks to me. So
that's so sad.
So we're filling out this side, right?
You can fill out. Yeah, this stuff's not active yet. You'll fill out that,
Okay.
and then you'll add 1 to one of these. The values are the ones that are in white right now. You'll fill out your backstory. These 3 things leave alone because we'll do that as a group.
Okay.
And then pick the moves that you want and fill in the stuff down there.
Okay.
And yeah, yours is the same thing. Fill out the right side and then everything on the left except for the bottom 3 on the second page.
So,
You'll add 1 in here.
this, I'm sorry.
You'll do this. You're going to leave these 3 blank. And then you're going to go down the right side and do what it says to do at the top of each thing.
Okay.
And if one of the looks that's on there or something doesn't feel true to your character, just whatever you want it to be is fine.
Okay.
I made the other group stick more rigidly to what is said on it,
but they're the group that matters, so that makes sense.
it's not necessarily true.
What is the unassuming clothing, or the adoptive clothing, or what does that mean?
Does it say adoptive or adaptive?
Adaptive?
Adaptive, okay. Unassuming clothing is just looks like an ordinary kid, yeah.
Okay.
Could blend into any other group. And then adaptive clothing is, you can change it however you want, depending on what you want to do. So it's...
Okay, so it's okay.
Yeah. So if you need to fit in with a group of goths or whatever, you'll dress that way. If you need to fit in with a group of cheerleaders, you'll dress that way. Just whatever you need to look like for the scene.
Medical clothing?
Yeah. There's some... Oh, I don't think this is on there, but age 15, 16, or 17 are the 3 ages you can pick. Okay, that's mostly for me, just so I know roughly where you're at.
What is shifting?
Is that the gender one?
Yeah. Is it shifting from one to the other?
Yeah, kind of. You, on that spectrum, you can you're kind of androgynous and you can kind of move between the looks. You can accentuate whatever you want to look more feminine or more masculine. The one thing I noticed about the Powered by the Apocalypse games, they try to be as inclusive as they can of gender non-binary selections and that kind of thing.
That's good.
In fact, if I remember right, one of the racial ones on masks got added during the Kickstarter because people were like, "Hey, we're of this this ethnicity and we're not on there." And the creator was like, "Oh, okay, cool, I'll add it in."
Makes sense.
Would you like to share some, Austin? What'd you pick?
I'm still kind of feeling it out, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's fine.
Figuring it out as I go.
I'm going to go not as obvious. Because I could have just gone, I'm going to be a Middle Eastern man.
No.
With gorgeous eyes.
I don't even see that option on there. That's weird.
Would any of you have a name? Let me know what it is. Both names, actually. And I'll be taking copious notes today. It's Candise with an S, right?
Yes.
Cool. The other group traveled to the future by accident.
By accident. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. 25 years. And Colin is the protege, so his mentor is like, it's like the dark Batman kind of thing, where he...
The Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah, he like took control of the city and he's got it on lockdown. He's got all these drones that fly around and stuff.
Oh man, so that's like a superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, you said choose one of the white to add one to?
Yeah, you add one to any of those, so you can
Okay.
bring your superior up to 0 or whatever.
Okay.
And then just circle and pencil or mark it somehow so you know which one it is.
So what is...
The labels are how you view yourself, and other people can impact them. You can impact one another's, people that you encounter can impact them.
Oh.
So throughout the game, there will be situations where someone will tell you how they view you,
Okay.
and you'll have to decide if you agree with it or disagree with it. If you
Okay.
agree with it, you'll shift the labels. So someone might shift your danger up if they feel like you're being dangerous, and
Okay.
shift your mundane down if they think you're being kind of unusual.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically don't feel like you have to
Right.
feel married to what you have,
Okay.
because that's going to change a lot.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, circle 0.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
where you're adding it. No,
Yep.
you're fine. Just want to make sure you know what to add, because those are going to be what you add to your rolls. Every roll is going to be two of these with one of those labels added to it.
Okay. Can I get, like suggestions on names and stuff? I'm not good at that.
You guys can talk to each other as much as you want, and I'll throw in anything I think of, what abilities did you pick?
I picked telekinesis, memory manipulation, and vitality absorption.
Wow, that's cool.
I almost picked pyrokinesis.
I have,
And my
I'm a
Magneto
woman,
helmet.
indigenous, with haunted eyes, and I figured adaptive clothing and an adaptive costume,
Oh, okay.
because they're the most versatile.
Yeah,
medicines,
yeah.
So, picking a nemesis is hard. My husband.
Oh, I don't have that. Ooh.
No, I'm the only one. It said I'm the only one that has a set in stone nemesis when I start the game.
Yeah.
So like,
Could be the changeling.
I like that. So do I explain like my doom? Like, do I just have like a doomsday clock inside of me, or?
We're gonna end up developing that. Oh, actually, you have it right here.
Okay.
We're gonna end up developing that a lot
Okay.
as we
Okay.
talk about it. So, whatever your nemesis is usually tied to your doom,
Okay.
and a lot of times the doom will be also the thing that gives you your powers.
Okay.
So, however your powers came about, if they're mystical in nature or genetic or whatever, then that'll determine kind of what your doom is and how it chooses to manifest.
Okay.
So kind of think about the powers you've picked, how do they fit together, and then where does it come from? Is your character a mutant who's naturally born with the powers, or is it something that you found an amulet and the amulet gave it to you? Is it just like a familial thing, like everybody in your family, like the third child of every
Right.
whatever is this?
I'm thinking maybe I was just born this way.
Okay, that's fine.
I could make Corden my nemesis. He's my twin brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? You keep doing what I'm
Wearing
doing.
down this eraser.
Do you need more?
No. I hope not.
So we need is it like, for real name, we need first and last, or just first?
That's up to you. If anybody knows your last name, then go ahead and write it down. If it's
Oh, that's a good little...
So for Colin's character, the protege, he didn't have parents that he remembers, so he doesn't have a last name. He just goes by Marshall in his personal life.
Okay.
My real name is Elouise.
Thank you. How do you spell that?
Elouise. What's my sanctuary?
That is something tied to your doom that you can decide whether or not they have access to it. It can be a completely private place, but it's basically a place where you go. I'm trying to think of what Raven's is. Isn't that... Raven's got like a sanctuary.
Oh, in her mind.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but
yeah, it's like a place you can go where you can just be alone. And then you have your own moves that are associated with that, things you can do with it.
Okay.
Based on what you pick. Are you going to be the only one in your character's family who has ever had powers? Or like how unusual is it that your character was born with powers for the family?
I'm going to say that it's unusual for like my immediate generation, but like long ago it wasn't as unusual.
What does it mean to pierce the mask?
Okay, so the way this works is during play, everything is going to start and end with the fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'll set up a scene and then just let you guys roll with doing whatever the heck you want to do in the scene, and then I'll have people react based on that. Occasionally you'll trigger moves, and then the moves you can trigger, the basic ones are here. These ones you have to take later, because they kind of replace some of these. But, so you have, like, directly engage a threat is going right at someone to, obviously, to fight them. Unleashing your powers is you want to make a radical change to something around you, or use them in a way that you don't usually use them. Comfort or support is help someone get rid of a condition they've gotten. And then piercing the mask is like seeing the person behind what they're trying to show. And it's not necessarily just for heroes or villains. You can pierce the mask of anybody, because everybody wears masks all the time. So if there's an adult that is saying something to you in the game that you've never had an adult say to you before, or this person is out of the ordinary for them, you can pierce their mask to see what they're really trying to get at, what their real motivation is.
Okay. Gotcha.
So then, there's defend, which is keeping somebody else from getting hurt. You can assess situations to figure out what's going on. You can provoke someone, which is getting them to do something you want to do. And then take a powerful blow will usually happen if you're in combat situation.
Okay.
So, what I'm thinking is, they said that your powers may be killing you, you may be hunted, or may be an embodiment of an apocalypse.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that I might be an embodiment of an apocalypse.
Okay.
And that my triggers, I guess, what brings your doom closer would be injuring innocents and frightening loved ones. Like if I get too scared or too freaked out, worried I'm going to hurt somebody, that I kind of explode or whatever. I have vitality absorption, so I guess I could just absorb everything.
So for conditions, these are...
Instead of hit points or damage threshold or anything like that, because it's so hard to track in a supers game.
Yeah.
That's all handled by the fiction, and we don't even really pay attention to that. So your character, if he's invincible or whatever, might be able to take a punch that a different character would get completely waylaid by.
Right.
So we don't actually pay attention to really any of that other than the way it happens in the fiction. So instead, we do emotional conditions. And you can get all of these filled up, but if you would take a sixth one, you have to leave the scene. And we would determine through the fiction what that means.
Gotcha. So I'm not filling this out right now.
Correct. You're not going to worry about that. That's something that's
so I'm not
happen.
saying, yes, you're generally an angry person.
No.
Okay.
So that's like the damage of the game. And you'll gain and lose those a lot in the game too. Just because that's the way
that makes sense the way it works.
And it's not even necessarily a bad thing for you to take all the conditions and have to leave the scene. because that will lead to more drama in the next scene when the rest of the group meets up with you, or someone tries to find you to comfort you or whatever, to support you in whatever's going on.
Makes sense.
So the doom sign.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I do one of these things, I mark it on my dooms track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once that fills, I choose a sign.
Yep.
And then once they're all filled, then my doomsday clock is up. Like that's what happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not something you're going to want to shy away from necessarily.
Right. I was reading that.
Yeah.
It was like, because it can add special things to my character, but they're also part of my strengths.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You end up having to ride this fine line of...
Right. Being too much in... So I guess, like, in a sense, I'm going for the apocalyptic type thing. Where, like, so, because I have vitality absorption, like if I get...
You're keeping yourself alive kind of thing?
Like, no, if I get too much, like, too... whatever, then I have the ability to absorb too much and, like, combust, I guess.
I think it makes sense.
If it gets, like, so high up there that I lose control over it, that it tends to, like, I'm absorbing too much of that energy. You know what I mean?
And you absorb that from other people?
That's one of my things. Yeah, it's a vitality absorption.
But if because you could essentially kill someone by
absorbing too much of them, but I could also over-absorb for myself because I can't handle that much energy. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Maybe dumb.
Is this both technically all hero universes together then? It's like, that's something to ask. This covers both hero universes, right? So if you want to count like as Marvel and DC, is it both then technically?
Wouldn't it be its own thing?
Or like its own thing, but it exists with...
Are you talking about this universe?
Yes.
It's its own thing.
Okay.
No Marvel, no DC, none of that. It's all...
Well, because we're not going to have like a time we run into Batman.
So, yeah.
So like this, when it asks you like for your backstory, my first question is who mentored you in supervillainy? I thought I had to pick an actual supervillain.
You make up your own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you make up your own supervillain. If you want names, I can throw some out at you because I've got characters I've already developed, like villains and stuff. Otherwise...
Oh, is there like a general...
super names there you can use too. Some of them are goofy, but...
Like some of these that are like... There's like already chosen ones.
Yeah, you can use what's there. You can come up with your own. Okay. I have no preference. In fact, the more new ones you come up with, the better.
Okay.
But don't feel like you have to come up with new ones if that's not something you're interested in. You can just pick whatever's around there.
What is this? Mark your doom track to use an adult move one time.
Okay, so the adult moves are these. They are typically better to use than these because the options that you have are more mature, basically. So instead of provoking someone, you can persuade them with their best interest. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and instead of unleashing your powers, which has this connotation of you don't really have control of them, so you can wield your powers.
Okay.
How's it coming?
Pretty good. Oh, I was supposed to tell you when I had a name, right?
Yeah.
All right. Real name Calvin Calendar.
I love it.
It's my roommate's name from college.
How's it spell?
Calendar.
Okay. Is it really?
That is how his last name is spelled. I told him it was wrong, but they corrected that way.
He didn't believe you?
No.
Okay, what's your hero name?
Cheetah.
Cheetah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Male, female, shifting, transgressing?
Male.
Okay.
Black.
Okay.
So when I told everyone, because we got those, cards, like, hey, this is going to be your roommate, and said, some kid named Calvin Calendar. Oh, he sounds black. That's what all of my family told me. So. Calvin, I guess.
It's like the whitest name I've ever heard.
Really?
Okay, so male, black. What are do you have your outfits picked?
Yeah, school uniform.
Okay.
Predecessor's costume. With an animal insignia.
The animal insignia is a wolf, right?
Thought I was going to throw a curveball in there, but you got it.
Did you pick your power suite?
Yeah, I picked the suite. I picked the one with super speed.
Okay, cool.
I haven't picked my second power yet, though.
Should be, you get all of them but 2.
Oh, I get all of them, but...
Yeah, and then the other 2 you'll gain during play.
That you don't have from your suite. Oh.
Yeah. So you'll get everything in your suite, but pick 2 that you can't do or don't have yet.
Okay.
Can my nemesis be myself? Like my doomsday clock?
I'd rather it be personified somehow. I'm okay with it being an aspect of you.
Okay.
But I want it to be external and personified, so it's something you can all fight. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, we could even do the classic thing of dark changeling and just have it be...
My twin?
Yeah, basically, like something external to you that...
Okay.
Darkling up in here.
We could just name it Darkling.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Darkling?
Darkling? Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense because he's blind. My brother's blind.
Darkling? Is that what you
Yes.
said? The nemesis?
And he is my twin. Actually, I'm just going to do brother.
Okay. Not twin then?
No, we'll just do brother.
Older, younger?
Older.
How much older?
33.
So significantly older.
Yes.
What's the name of the city we're in?
Halcyon City?
Halcyon. Could you spell that for me?
Halcyon. The nickname is the Hero City. Just so you know.
Gotcha.
I mean, you don't have to write that down. That's just what people tend to refer to it as, is Hero City.
Gotcha.
Let's see, that's the established things from the other table. Halcyon City is in Vermont, bigger than New York.
Oh.
Has a significant superhero population and supervillain population. Think like New York and Marvel Comics,
right.
Or like a mashup of Gotham and Metropolis and DC. It just has like everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my name, by the way, but I don't have a last name.
That's fine.
For my backstory, Kadin, Kadin, and my hero name is Korok.
Spell that.
Korok. And I'm a white male with technicolor eyes.
Nice.
And I wanted to, before I go farther than that, that means I have 2 different colored eyes, or that they change colors?
It means whatever you want it to.
Okay, they change colors. They're normally green and then they change to red. I have conservative clothes, and then my costume is normal clothes. And I have geokinesis as my power. Or my ability I'm far known for.
Okay.
What's the difference between a containment system and locks and traps for my sanctuary?
So containment system would be you can hold people or things of great power without them being able to escape.
Okay.
So basically a prison. And then locks and traps would be keeping people from entering the sanctuary. So people couldn't get in. However, that gets worked out. People can't come in, or if they do get in, then there's traps that will deal with them. Do you have your backstory off of them?
I got most of it filled out.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm still figuring out a reason why I should care about this guy over here.
What?
You're not gotten to the backstory yet.
I'm in the backstory right now.
Oh, yeah, I told him I've got it almost filled out.
Oh, yeah, backstory is different for each character.
Oh.
Yeah.
My last question is, why do you care about the team? So that's why that was a joke.
Okay, I was like, I guess I have that question too.
Mine's why does your team matter to you?
Oh, okay. Variations on a theme.
So, considering the information that I've already put into place, what kind of sanctuary do you think that? I'm
thinking your powers are kind of like an ancestral thing. Like somebody way back had them.
Yeah.
They also probably had a similar nemesis, their brother or sibling or whatever. Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's like a dimensional area,
Okay.
like a pocket dimension that
Okay.
you have access to that you also gained when you gained your powers.
Okay.
And it's meant to be a place where you're safe from your nemesis, so you can take into consideration how to...
Like a place that, like, I could go and meet my
Like
ancestors and
yeah,
have, like, an aid and assistance. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a retreat that allows you to gain information.
And they can provide information for me and stuff like that, too. Like, is that part of it that I can use? Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do for... I mean, the fiction of it is...
Mine?
Far more... Yeah, it's yours, and it's far more important than anything that you mark on the sheet.
Okay.
The sheet is meant for more of like a guide.
So then you think that maybe a scattering of ancient relics would be with the aid or assistant in a meditational space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for this choose your downside, can I create my own downside?
Yeah, if you've got one in mind, that's fine.
So I'm wondering, since this is more of like like, do I go there physically or do I go there just in my mind? Because that could be a downside, the fact that I'm somewhere else spiritually, but my body's still here, so it leaves me vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If that's what you've got in mind, that's fine with me.
Okay. I don't know yet. Sorry.
I mean, it could also be like time passes differently there, so you don't ever know how long it's going to be that you're there.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't do anything crazy like you come back and it's 3 years later or anything stupid like that. It would be just, you come back and it's like you didn't even leave, or you come back and it's been a couple hours, but to you it felt like
or the next day or something. Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't go any further out than 24 hours.
So my downsides, I'm going to choose difficult to access, because sometimes it'd be hard for me if things are crazy around me to get there in my own mind.
Yeah.
And then the other one would be the time lapse.
Okay.
Thank you, by the way.
Of course. You figured out why you care about the team?
I'm still thinking on that one.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay.
Come up with names now.
I don't know if it's helpful at all, but super names, real names, I don't know. Otherwise you can come up with your own, because
Redwell is a real name?
Apparently.
I don't believe that.
It's a bit comic booky.
Locklear?
So Austin, I have
I know, Heather's the only one I know.
I have a section where I have ties to villains in my previous career, and some of the names are pretty good.
Oh yeah?
I got Finch, Ellen Devil Drummond, Mr. Kane, the Mad Magpie, Dr. Cutler, Armorer, Tegan Queen, and Lovelace. I like all of them. I wish they were all still my friends.
Legacy is different because it's all like other people who shared your mantle, so it's like asking for real names, not... They can't be that out. They can't sound like super villains.
Some of them can still be active under different super names if you want to.
Well, I figured one of them is blank is still active and prominent in the city. I guess that would be like the last one. So that'd be like, I guess, my dad in this case.
How in-depth do we have to go with,
or my mom, I guess,
saying why we care about the team?
I just say they're my friends.
If that's what your character thinks, that's fine. And then, I mean, with you, if it's...
I almost want to just say because I have to.
Well, he is the Reformed, I guess, so.
Because are we put onto this team, or do we come together as a consensus?
That's something you guys are going to have to figure out. So we'll get to there.
I think you're my friend.
And if you can't answer the question yet, that's fine. Just leave it, and then when we get to the relationships and stuff, we'll start. And when the team came together stuff, we'll start to piece it all together.
So you remember when you asked me if I was the only one in my family?
Yeah.
So that's going to change. That's fine. So I'm assuming that, obviously my brother has whatever. My backstory is I first learned of my doom at the age of 5. I learned of my sanctuary at the same time. I'm opposed to my nemesis because he's trying to absorb my power to set me off for more power, control, whatever.
He's trying to do what? Sorry.
He's trying to either absorb my power or to set me off to gain power or control or whatever.
Okay.
Who outside the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis? I'm going to say my father, but he's going to be absent. He's going to be somewhere unknown.
Cool.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because anything unknown is mine.
right? You're welcome. Something happened. He's gone. He's been gone for a long time.
Do you know your father's name? If not, that's fine. I'll come up with one. But if you had one in mind, I didn't want to leave it unanswered.
Do
Okay.
not.
Okay.
My team matters because they're my friends.
What's your backstory, Austin?
I officially became part of the Legacy when my powers started to develop when I hit 11.
Okay.
My Legacy's greatest accomplishment, I guess, would be saving the city multiple times. The public views my Legacy favorably, seen as something as an institution. Legacy ties into my reasons for being a hero because it was forced upon me. It's a family tradition. And I care about the team because they're the only ones who see me as my own hero and not just another in the line.
Because you're my friend.
Okay.
And I'm her friend.
Do I fill out this part of the sanctuary place when you call upon your resources for your sanctuary? Say what you want to do. The GM will give you 1 of 4 conditions you must fulfill to complete your solution. So there's 6 of them. Do I pick 2 and put them, or?
Oh, no.
Okay.
This will be when if you ask me that you want to solve a problem using your sanctuary.
So
I'll give you these and you'll mark them, and then you can erase them as you fulfill them.
Okay.
Just to keep track.
Okay,
of
so you're in control of
Yeah.
first I must, and then you have to give me whatever?
Yep.
Okay. I think I filled out everything I needed to fill out.
Okay. Did you go through your backstory?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. What about your backstory, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good. You need me to
Go ahead and run us through it.
So, you have fun with all my references.
Oh my god.
The person who mentored me in Supervillainy was Discord, who is basically this city's Joker.
Okay.
And just for all of you to know,
That's my little pony.
It's a good name though.
It is.
The first one to show me that I could do good was Sidon the Great, who has the power over weather.
Is that another name?
No, S-I-D-O-N.
Zelda.
S-I-D-O-N?
Yes. He's got the power over weather. Kind of like, and that works in hand with me having power over like Earth.
Yeah.
And my goal as a villain, because I was so young, it was more of to do whatever I want and to have like the most fun.
What is Sidon to you?
Your friend.
What is he to me? This is I guess you want to say my role model, who I want to be.
Okay.
How'd you meet Sam?
I don't know that. It's not one of the questions. he just showed up on his with his fist pumping and his smile twinkling.
In that week.
Let me see that real quick.
That's easier.
Do you think that I should make my brother's age younger? Since we're all much younger? Or do you think that it's fine?
I mean, if he's older, that makes him like a more difficult opponent. That might be why you need the team.
Right. That makes sense.
Oh, you need your friends.
My friends.
It's like 16-year difference, is that?
Not crazy.
No.
Okay.
It's within the realm of possibility.
Okay.
What's
I didn't know if it would make it harder on you for the age difference. Okay.
Nothing makes my job hard. My job's easy.
Challenge accepted.
I don't even get to, I don't even have to roll dice in this game. Everything I do is based on what you guys do.
So, if I'm reading this right, when I make the 3, one of them gets 2 obligations and one gets 1, and the other one has 0?
Correct.
Okay. Who I owe so much obligation to. You're also good.
Give influence to all of your teammates.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, they have all the face cards. Sorry. That doesn't mean they're better than you.
That it just means they're first.
Which means they're better than us.
Those are going to be yours.
Ooh, now that makes sense.
Hearts, diamonds, spades, or clubs? What do you want your suit to be?
You go ahead and pick yours first. It's fine.
I honestly, it's diamonds, I guess.
I'll do spades.
They are our best friend.
Ow.
Thank you.
So those are yours to hand to the others so they know if they have influence over you. That makes sense.
I'm Like, what do you mean?
So under influence, it'll say
Okay.
to give influence to 2, and since there's only 2, you'll just give each of them that, and then write down under there, just write down that your card is spades.
Okay.
It'll be an easy way for us to track who has influence over who.
Okay.
Influence determines whether or not you can affect somebody. So if somebody has influence over you, they can change your labels.
Right, so here in relationships, it's asking me, like, I once got caught doing something that shames my legacy with blank. Like, so one of them.
With him, no.
Well, that would be the one who makes sense. The former criminal.
You're cool with that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What's your character's name?
Korok. Korok. The hero name, right? Or the...
Yeah, that's fine. I trust blank and told them an important secret of my legacy.
So you'll have to...
Hi, Brad.
You'll have to actually come up with a secret. And then actually tell her.
Oh, so I don't get to know it then.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean, if you can keep your...
Best friend?
You can say it out loud and not have to whisper it or write it down or anything if you can keep yourself from using it in game.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not too...
So for the
I think
relationships, I have to choose one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not too concerned about metagaming, but...
That's your name?
I don't think that's... You're just gonna go right for that? I'm not even your friend. Or
we're both her friends.
Right, so if I have to choose the relationships between you guys, I told Blank about all of my doom and danger that I'm in, and I'd love to kiss Blank before my doom comes.
So is that one or the other then?
No, I have to pick one of you for each of them.
Oh.
So, no offense, friend.
No, that's fine.
What's your name?
You know what my name is.
Kadin. K-A-I-D-E-N.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Oh,
Calvin.
man.
Okay. Kadin and Calvin. And Elouise.
So how do you spell Elouise?
E-L-O-U-I-S-E.
Oh, Elouise. Got it. Alright, so I'm thinking the secret of my legacy is that it's like a family thing. It's not just new people coming in.
Okay, so it's generational.
So like, the one who's still active is my mom.
Okay. Do you guys have when your team first came together?
No, we're supposed to decide that after we've got all of our backstory.
Okay.
So, my two are, I've earned the trust of Blank, and I follow their example, what a hero should be. And the other one is, I did something terrible to Blank once. I hope you can forgive me one day.
You put him in that situation that you got caught doing. That would make sense.
Or I could be the reason why you're the doomed.
The doomed? No, mine is ancestral.
We traveled through time.
Yeah, maybe
That's been established.
Apparently that's a thing.
Okay, so yeah, did you get your 2 relationships?
Yes, I told Calvin all about my doom and the danger that I'm in.
Okay.
And I'd love to kiss Kadin before my doom ends.
Okay.
So, I've earned the trust of, how do you spell your name?
Calvin?
Calvin?
Or do you want my legacy name?
No, we'll do Calvin and some trust. So Calvin.
First name basis.
What's your hero name? No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you do to me?
we don't know yet. Spelled Kadin wrong?
No, I'm just gonna...
Yeah.
I had a real name for one of you and
K-A-D-I
for the other.
Yeah, I think you have to be the changeling because
what are your 2?
Okay.
You once got caught doing something that shames your legacy with blank, and you trust blank and told them an important secret of your legacy.
Okay, and the shames your legacy is Korok, right?
Right.
Okay.
That just makes sense to me.
What did you guys do? What was the thing?
That you got caught doing.
How big of a shame does this have to be?
How big do you want it to be? Did you break an innocent person's bones? Did you drink?
My goal as a villain was to do whatever and to have fun because I'm a kid and I'm a rogue.
I was thinking maybe he talked me into using my super speed to steal something small and stupid.
Okay.
Like hot dogs
and then,
or like real small, real stupid.
But then we got
Sour Patch Kids instead.
we were getting caught, and then I could have use my powers, and I could have hurt someone. But because we were together when that happened, to me, hurting someone wouldn't be as big of a deal.
What?
Because that's what I was.
But you're not anymore.
Yeah, but back then.
Yeah.
It's good when we were.
So this happened when you were an active villain.
Yes, we'll go with that. I've recently switched. We'll go with, I think that's a good.
Why would he have hung out with an active villain?
I know, that's a good question.
You couldn't have known, maybe. Maybe you didn't know. I am always wearing normal, like, looking clothing.
That's good.
Yeah.
You didn't.
And then when we meet, it could be like a big, like,
reveal.
You're the one who made me steal the hot
For rich kids. No.
That'll be something that gets fleshed out too, actually, your guys' first meeting. Because it'll be when the team first came together thing. But we'll get to that last. I like to do that last just because if everybody knows who everybody is, then we can kind of piece things together a little bit better.
Okay.
So he convinced you
to
steal hot
dogs. It really had to be that mundane.
To steal hot dogs.
I mean, to a 15 to 17-year-old, no, it probably doesn't have to be that mundane.
I like it. I like that it's that mundane.
I think that's, because I'm kind of going for the like harsh parental and figure thing, and maybe she's the one who saw us do it. And
how did you? Who saw you, and how did you get caught?
My mother, Bethany, and she managed to catch us because she also has super speed.
Okay. Kadin, right?
Yeah. Or
it's a weird Joker.
Oh,
it is. Wait. I did that,
but I don't have to do that.
You don't
I haven't decided that yet.
Oh,
I have the option to only give out one.
Yeah, mine says right here, you're part of this team for better or worse. You care what they think. Give influence to all of your teammates.
These people matter to you. Give influence to 2 of your teammates. So I have,
So mine is, do you talk openly about your days as a villain? If so, give each member influence over you. If not, just give influence to one teammate. Whose example you follow.
I'm sorry.
So I could just give it to him, because who would I would give it to?
So,
I haven't decided that.
Does Bethany have a hero name?
Yeah, I figured we'd all be the cheetah.
Okay.
Like the name passed down from generation.
Right.
When one becomes the cheetah, do the other ones stop using the name, or are there active ones that use the name at the same time?
I figure all the active ones could all use the name.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify that. So I didn't bring them in and then have you be like, no, that's not how that works.
Dang it, Josh.
So I don't know if I can actually have earned the trust from you then. I think that would kind of... How can I earn the trust from you?
You haven't earned my trust.
That's what I mean. This is, I've earned the trust of... But I'd have to choose her then. Because if I'm the reason why...
Well, I mean, it's nice that we both trust her, I guess.
That falls in line.
You trust the ticking time bomb. Great, guys.
There is a flaw in that.
So... Okay, you're still doing your relationships, right?
Well, because I have to flip it now because I did something terrible.
Well, terrible.
It could be worse, so you didn't want to make it worse.
What are your relationships? What's the
I told Calvin all about my doom and the danger that I'm in. And then I'd like to kiss Kadin before my doom comes.
Okay, so, Calvin, what's the secret that you told?
Oh, you were out of the room.
Elouise.
I told her that it was like a family tradition to be the cheetah.
Yeah, that it was all family.
Like the other active one is my mom, and the original one's my grandfather.
So you're basically just like a
goody two-shoe.
Yeah, goody two-shoe kind of thing.
Except for once.
Yeah.
When he stole those damn hot dogs.
Never read one. Never read.
I didn't mean to throw it. It just caught in my...
Is this something you were used to doing?
Stealing hot dogs?
No, just corrupting people? Corrupting heroes? Was that something you did? Okay.
We can do that. So, I'm not talking openly about my villainy, but I follow you closely and we trust each other enough. So I have to give out one. I'm giving you one, but I'm not giving you one. Because
But don't I know already?
Just for that one time, but then you don't know
the extent
if
of
I kept telling you about
done.
all the things, you'd just be like, oh, put you in jail. I'm just trying to
get some valley guy too. Just like gag me with a spoon.
Do you need to know my friends in low places and whatnot? Is that a thing is that just for
legacy moves?
Go ahead, the relationships again, I'm sorry.
Oh, so I've earned the trust of Elouise, and I follow their example of what a hero should be.
Okay.
And then I did something terrible at Calvin. What's your hero's name?
The cheetah.
The cheetah. Okay.
Is it the cheetah or just cheetah?
I'm gonna do the cheetah. Cheetah sounds kind of dumb.
The cheetah?
Yeah.
I'm one with the earth.
How did Korok How did Korok earn your trust?
I guess I saw the good in him, and I trusted him, and I befriended him. I just naturally saw it, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can put down why I care about the team now.
You have memory powers, right?
I do.
Or okay, I'm gonna
Memory manipulation.
okay.
I memory manipulated him into being my friend. Because I'm all about friendships.
Do you want that to be a thing?
No, please don't.
It doesn't matter to me. I just
No.
okay. I'm gonna say you saw the good in him because you could get those kind of impressions off of people.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So my memory manipulation, can I just change their memories, or can I also get like an idea of their memories? Like I could see his memories and see exactly why he wanted to turn bad, or the influences he had to turn bad, which allowed me to see the good in him.
I'm gonna say,
or I can just manipulate their memories.
Without having to unleash your powers, you can get impressions.
Okay.
If you want to go deep enough to actually try to see it,
okay,
or be part of it, like put
right.
yourself in it to see it play out, that's going to be something you'll have to roll for.
Okay.
But yeah, you can get impressions of people's memories.
Okay.
And then yeah, you can change them, you can manipulate, you can make them forget things, however you want to. When you see a memory and you let yourself play it out, you can go from that point. You can tell me if you want to make modifications to it.
Okay. How do I state that? Just so that I remember. Memory impressions?
Yeah, you can do memory impressions.
Do you need a section to write down why I care about the team? Because I came up with it.
How long is it?
Not that long. I'm just kidding. No, so...
Yeah, what do you...
I owe Calvin, I feel like, for tarnishing his legacy. And because Elouise is my first real friend.
Oh.
Friend.
I'll take it. No.
Alright. I already went through the relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their influence figured out?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to do when the team came together questions. And then I'm going to walk you guys through some stuff. What's your stats? Would you increase?
Savior. Kind of fit in line with my character.
What's your danger?
-1.
Such a little.
I'm +1.
I'm +3.
Not sure that's a great thing.
I'm a -1 in Savior, if that makes you feel better.
Okay, so we're opposites.
You're on the one side, you're on the complete opposite, and I'm in the middle.
Oh man, on like every stat.
Yeah. No wonder you guys are my friends.
Do you have a superiority complex? No, you don't.
Did I let you know that I changed my Doom triggers?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So, I kept the injuring innocence, but I changed frightening loved ones to overexerting myself.
Did you need any of that from me? My reform moves?
Yeah, I'll be looking at that with you.
Guys, if we need any help, we have Lovelace, Mr. Kane, and Tegan Queen.
Lovelace.
I mean,
I already owe her
my mother and grandfather are literal superheroes, and you want to go back down into...
Lovelace has cosmic artifacts.
Since you're an ex-villain, maybe you can talk to my brother. Maybe infiltrate and get some information as to how to...
Yeah?
Yeah.
With my normal looking clothes. To believe I'm totally a supervillain.
I'll get you an eye patch.
Hello, fellow supervillains.
I am two supervillains.
Oh, can I mask be a leaf? Kind of cool.
A leaf?
For the Korok.
So one of my moves is, if the conditions that affect you. If I just commit a misdemeanor or something, I could just blow off my condition, just goes away.
Just
I could. Evil works sometimes, Right, goody two shoes.
Do I have to roll for this, or...?
This just happens.
Hell of a time fighting this. Here are the things that are true about Halcyon City, no matter what. The first thing is, there have been 3 full generations of superheroes, supervillains, and superpowered calamities before now, stretching back into the early parts of the 20th century. You guys are all members of the 4th generation, the most recent one.
Do we need to write this down?
No.
Okay.
The prior generations are all still active, and they're all very interested in the future of Halcyon City still. But the generations match like the classic comic book generations. There's the gold, the silver, and then the bronze. The city's used to all kinds of insanity, from dinosaurs rampaging down the streets, to dark wizards transforming sections of the city to castles, to parallel dimensions appearing in the sky, aliens invading. That doesn't mean those things aren't still amazing and surprising, but they do happen and they're a fact of life in the city, and the city continues to roll on even after something that seems like it should change absolutely everything. It's the greatest city in the world. It's huge. It's full of nearly anything you could expect to find in any city anywhere. So there's monuments, museums, massive corporations, slums, dark alleys, subways, whatever. Huge districts encompass many different populations and neighborhoods throughout the city. The other table, they have basically sections that they frequent that they've already developed. And you guys are pretty much never going to be into those sections.
Okay.
And I want to do the same thing with you guys as we go forward. There will be sections that you guys kind of go through, but it's very separate from what they're doing. There's going to be some citywide events that you guys both tables will kind of see and may be able to affect, which will also affect what the other table's doing. For the time being, they're in the future, so I mean, not anything you guys do will...
Nobody step on a butterfly.
They'll hear about it. In masks, all of you guys are residents of Halcyon City. You don't have to have lived there your whole life, but you do know about the long tradition of superheroes and villains. You know about the craziness that happens on the city streets, and you guys are aware that you're part of that world. You all choose to be here. Okay. So you might be pressured to be on the team. You might feel guilt and be part of the team to absolve it. You might audibly wish you weren't on the team at all while secretly loving it, but ultimately it is your character's choice to be part of this team. You are not killers. You're a fairly young team, and you may have made some mistakes, blown some stuff up, whatever.
We were like...
hot dogs.
But you aren't killers. You don't solve problems by killing those on the other side, as if it were of no consequence. If your team is interested in pursuing more drastic measures, you might grapple with the complexities of killing as a solution. But so far, your team hasn't gone down that dark path. One of the established stories in this universe is a story of a hero, quote-unquote, named Payback. In the early 90s, there was this series of vigilantes that started to become active who were using killing rather regularly as a method of ending crime. And it went on for several years until Payback, the most effective of them, actually took a district attorney and threw him out of a 50-story window, and he landed on a van full of civilians. The civilians were all very injured. None of them died, but obviously the guy did. The DA did. That basically put an end to it. It was at that point, Aegis, which is this world's shield, it's called Aegis. They got involved and they basically locked things down. So it's like if you get to that point and you kill somebody, Aegis comes after you, and they have this world's Avengers / X-Men called the Exemplars.
Okay.
They work with Aegis to make sure that no heroes ever go down that road anymore. So if you start to go down that road and somebody's death is at your hands, you'll have a large contingent of heroes coming after you.
Okay.
The cheetahs. You are not illegal and you're not openly hunted yet. Your team might technically be illegal depending on the specifics of how superhuman teams are treated in this version of Halcyon City. I will come out and say that currently the way it works is if you make yourself known as a group, you get watched. And if you start to take steps that the Exemplars or Aegis don't like, you will become more watched to the point where somebody from the other team currently has a watch that reports every use of their powers to Aegis, and they're having an eye being kept on them because of an incident that occurred. So things like that can happen that will complicate things, but you also aren't beloved though. Just like you're not hunted by other superheroes or by law enforcement, you also aren't loved by the city yet. In your particular case with Cheetah, you're going to be constantly compared to the other people in the Legacy who are probably already better at what they do than you.
Right.
So you're the new Cheetah, and everybody's like, we don't know
old Cheetah.
We don't know if we like him yet.
You're like Kid Flash.
No one likes Crystal Cheetah.
So
the labels, danger is seeing yourself as threatening, strong, bloody knuckle, risky. Other people, when they see you as a danger, think that they should steer clear of you because you might bring them harm. Freak is seeing yourself as strange, unusual, unique, and powerful. Other people see you as a freak when they think you're odd, unlike them, something unnatural, or outside of their understanding. Savior is seeing yourself as defending, guarding, protecting, and stalwart. Other people see you as a savior when they think of you as noble or self-sacrificing. The negative of that would be being overbearing or overly moralizing. Superior is seeing yourself as smart, capable, crafty, and quick. Other people see you as superior when they think you're the smartest person in the room, or if they think you're an arrogant, egotistical jerk. Mundane is seeing yourself as normal, human, empathetic, and understanding. Other people see you as mundane when they think of you as all too normal and uninteresting, but also comprehending and sympathetic. So you guys already recorded all your starting labels, right? And you circled the one that you added one to?
Yes.
Okay. If the label would shift up past +3 or down past -2, then you don't have a shift occur at all. Neither of the labels change. Instead, you mark a condition. The idea being, if someone thinks that you're, or if you start to think of yourself as overly whatever, so what do you have marked high? Savior. So if you start to think of yourself as overly being more of a savior than you can handle, you mark a condition. So you might feel
insecure.
Yeah, insecure or something like that about it. Danger, you might feel guilty. What condition you mark will sometimes be determined by me and sometimes by you. It just depends on the situation and what's happening.
Okay.
And I'll always let you know like who's supposed to make that decision.
I feel like I'm going to be more because we haven't done any of the killing yet. That was going to be my thing that I didn't talk to anyone about. Like, I didn't talk to you about was killing someone. But if we haven't killed anyone, then there's almost no point.
I mean, you could have done other bad stuff.
Currently,
I think you talk people into stealing hot dogs.
Yeah. So, but those other things, you're still going to look down at me, but if I killed someone, you'd be like, there'd be like a turn. Like you and your family would turn on me if you knew I secretly killed someone.
That's fair.
You could have had like an accident where somebody died because of like...
Maybe you talked them into stealing something more dangerous.
And then you've gotten like a lot of trouble. 2 hot dogs.
Convinced you to steal a nuke.
Did you catch my other reference? With my eyes?
Which one?
That turned red.
Oh, is that... Yeah, Ruby.
I've referenced an anime, a video game, and a kid's cartoon show. I think I'm putting pretty well.
I could change your memory so that you may also know them.
I already know a lot about a lot of those things, so...
You haven't watched every episode of My Little Pony, though.
I haven't watched a single episode of My Little Pony.
In his defense, we have children.
I was going to say, you're not a brony, are you?
No.
We have 2 6-year-old girls.
That makes sense.
Can I be thrown into my sanctuary? Like if I like...
Is it your mind?
Yeah, like it's kind of like my mind-ish, but like, I guess it's a different dimension. Like if I get too much or like hurt really bad, can I get like thrown in there by accident? And because there's that time lapse?
I think that's definitely a possibility.
I think that another person that has a power of manipulation, like mind manipulation, could do that.
Okay.
We can definitely fall into that on Exit too, if it's based off of how like Raven thing was.
Okay.
That was
a weird episode.
That was a good episode.
Where they had the pink Raven and...
Oh yeah, they all split. That was great.
All the different Raven personalities.
They actually redid that episode for Teen Titans Go, and it was just as funny.
I don't know why I don't have this sheet printed with these other sheets, but okay. When your team first came together, you defeated a dangerous enemy. Who or what was it? This is like the first time you guys actually worked together as a team to defeat someone.
What's your list of villains? No.
Well, I noticed that the part that says when our team first came together, our questions are different. Do we have to answer those right now, or do we have to just have the common enemy first?
There's an order that I asked them in based on playbook. Okay. And I'm going to go through all of the core playbooks. Yours is actually an extended playbook, so your question will be answered last.
Okay.
When I get to your guys's, I'm going to have you actually ask your own question.
Okay.
But in the
But to get there, I'm going to go through the list of the other playbooks, the ones that aren't actually part of our group. And there's 5 of them before we get to yours.
Okay.
So the first thing is to figure out who the enemy was. Who were you guys fighting this first time? It can be someone you've already got established. It can be
We beat
something
them?
else. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be like we all just happened to be at the right place at the right time when a specific person showed up and we kind of just met that way? Or do you want it to be like somebody that...
I mean, we have an established relationship before this, right?
But it's not a good relationship.
No,
But it's established.
but it could have easily been like, I saw you doing something and got suspicious, and...
So, yeah, you were tailing him. We'll say that.
Oh, wait.
I was just walking, I guess. I was just there.
I was coming to steal from you.
So the first person we beat was him.
We could actually do a thing where, like, we came together because you were doing something and we protected you or saved you.
Is there like a public place that we could have gone to where I was like covertly gonna do something bad? So he was tailing me, but it's a place where she's at.
Could be
And then something
museum.
bigger happens, and then we're all forced to
Kind of work
stop it.
together,
I like museum.
like a museum.
That's
I
the
could
place.
So I have in my
Steal some jewels.
in my past I have people that are good with like the weapons, alien tech, cosmic artifacts. I could be going to steal an artifact.
If you've already
Okay.
got that, you've got that hero who already like influenced you to change your ways, right?
Side on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be this was your first attempt to like follow his example, right? So maybe you heard about this attack. Maybe you weren't there to actually steal something.
Darn.
One of my sanctuaries is a scattering of ancient relics, so I could be at the museum studying.
Okay.
Okay, so
So that makes sense.
So we have the basic idea of why you were there. Who was the dangerous enemy that showed up?
Was
Or
it you,
what was
or
it?
was it...
no, it can't be me
Oh.
because my question
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense then. So we just need someone that would
What's
be
your
there.
list of names, sir? We got a whole big...
But I can't use them because they're still my friends in low places. It wouldn't be one of them. It would be someone bigger than that, probably.
I mean, it would make a lot of sense if it was from someone from your past life. Maybe not one of them.
well, so that's my question. My question is, we fought a terrible enemy from my old life. Who was it, and what did they take from me? So, but I think since that's last, I don't know if it's the same enemy.
It can be.
Yeah.
We can answer both of those at the same time.
Well, first we need a name for our enemy.
What do you want it to be?
No.
I mean, you have Discord there. You have Darkling. Do you have your...
Then
Does your legacy have a nemesis?
Yes.
Who is
Van
that?
Pelt.
Van Pelt?
Van Pelt.
Van Pelt.
That's the name of the poacher from Jumanji.
look at all these references.
References.
That's good.
We're so original.
Van Pelt.
I figured who's going to be the enemy of a cheetah?
It's sort of like
A
a
hunter.
Makes sense. Makes
like a
sense.
Craven kind of character.
Kinda, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think it was Van Pelt then.
Well, my sheet says, but he's still at large.
Yeah.
We could have stopped him at that
we
moment,
stopped
but
his
he got
plan, but he
away.
got away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Van Pelt was there. You destroyed your surroundings in the fight. We already know you were at a museum.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically in the museum did you destroy? Dino exhibits, artifacts.
I want to say, like, historical artifacts,
Okay.
because that would help me answer my question.
So Van Pelt at the museum with the candlestick. Destroyed artifacts.
And, like, historical documents and books and stuff like that, so.
You didn't trust each other at first, but that changed. How and why?
Because we all work together, I guess. I don't know.
So like during the fight,
Right, we all
you
just
realized
kind
you
of
could rely on each other.
happened to mesh.
You saved the life of someone important either to the city or to you guys. Who was it and why are they important?
Ooh, I have a suggestion. Because when I heard museum, I was thinking of Nicolas Cage. And Stealing the Declaration of
Treasure
Independence.
I don't
hunter?
want
Yeah.
to say Nicolas Cage.
No, can we say, can we just like spoof his name?
Nicholas Mage or something.
Ricklish Mage.
Nicholas Mage. Who is he? Like, how is he important? Is he important to
He's one of the greatest movie actors of all time.
Oh my god.
I mean, we're not in Hollywood.
No.
He could be like we could have our own version of Broadway. He could be like a theater star or something.
Yeah, he could be something, or...
What was it? Ricolous? Mage. I love him.
I hate that we are establishing this character.
And that's a spoof on Rick and Morty.
I'm almost done with you already.
He goes by Rick Mage.
Thank you.
I'm having fun.
Nice to see who the chaotic one is.
Alright, so saved Rick Mage. Is he a actor or something?
We're gonna go with...
Did you say playwright or
we're all
that would be fun.
I mean, we're all younger,
it's like a movie star.
He could be, to us, like...
Well, I don't even necessarily know that we knew who we were saving.
Right, it just could have been...
It could have just been a guy at the museum.
Right.
As far as
to
we know.
us.
Yeah.
You were running really fast by and you're like, holy crap, that's Rick Mage.
That's Rick Mage.
I saw him steal the Magna Carta.
See? You know you love it.
I joined the other group.
Me too.
I'm more of a loner anyway.
You totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did you guys break?
What rules did we break?
I kind of remember here.
I'm pretty sure I know who broke them.
And whose rules are they?
I think we used part of another exhibit to stop him.
Like we used it as a weapon or like as a trap?
Yeah, I mean, I used the earth so I can granted I can't use the actual pieces of the...
But if there were like some like big clay tablets or something.
Yeah, some ancient technology.
Used something.
Could have used that.
Maybe the artifacts you destroyed were clay-based or rock-based or something.
Maybe.
And you used those against him.
Like a stone tablet kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was suggested by these two. I was just doing my part.
Doing my duty.
That sounds just like you. Yes, sir.
My joke response was going to be use the T-Rex's rib cage as a prison.
See, I like that.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Scooby-Doo?
Like every episode of Scooby-Doo. When did this even get here?
We're at the beach. So you pummeled Van Pelt with some stone tablets.
Irreplaceable stone tablets.
Doomed. Go ahead and ask your question.
We paid a high price for victory. What was it? So what I was thinking for this was that obviously my father is crucial and he's missing. So I was at the museum trying to find information on where he was or who he was and things like that. And we lost history. We
destroyed.
We destroyed what I needed
to
find out where my father was or who he was. Do I have an idea of who he is, or is it all just unknown?
That's up to you. How much do you want to know? How much do you know not?
I kind of want to have like a little bit of knowledge, but then I also want him to be like, "Oh, surprise! I'm your father."
That's the worst start I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
It was Rick Mage all along.
It was Rick Mage. I saved him. Daddy. God, I love you.
There's, I'm gonna say there was something was written on the tablets.
Okay.
That has to do with what happens to the father of the person who gains their powers. And it is now destroyed.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
You guys
suggested the hot dogs.
Okay. Legacy. What is your question?
All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it? I was thinking it was your guy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sidon?
Wait. Oh, we impressed a hero. I thought you said I was impressive as a hero.
Oh no, never.
I like that idea.
But if he came to you and inspired you to change your way, it makes sense that he would be monitoring you.
And he was the one that we impressed.
Good. I want to impress Sidon.
I do too.
I mean, you have to impress someone, I guess.
You drew attention and ire from plenty during the fight. One important person in particular now hates and fears you. Who is it?
My brother, Darkling.
Why was he there?
But we drew attention from him being there, or we drew
Well, I
attention
guess I would have already had
because it was heard
attention.
about.
Well, you drew attention and ire from plenty of people during the fight. But one person now hates and fears you.
Because he saw us, or because he heard about it?
Because he heard that we were like doing well, or
That's up for you guys.
like a secret villain.
Or
Rick Mage is Darkling.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so
does it have to be? Because we could
It
have.
doesn't have to be somebody
there could be
associated
We
with
could
us.
establish it.
There could be a hero that, besides you, also has use for that
These
knowledge
relics,
or something like that we could have made mad because of that.
Okay.
Because of his suggestion. As I'm pointing to the cheetah.
I feel like
attacked.
he suggested something vague and he took it the wrong way and like
We need to hit him with something.
that sounds
Okay.
exactly.
who's your powers? Okay. Like
That sounds exactly like what happened. All right, so who took note? Are we going with Darkling, or are we doing something else?
What do you guys think? Do we either make him fear us
Do
a
we
little
want to
bit, or
establish a new character, or do we want to? Granted, Darkling already is after me, but now he knows that we're kind of a team-like thing.
I mean, I see this as, I just don't know why Darkling would be there unless he was there looking for the clues for your father too.
Which could be the case,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
he's
is that
crucial
why-
for my doomsday, my father is. So that would make sense as to why it got destroyed. And that was the price we paid, and now we have a person. Does my brother have a real name?
Do you want him to?
Corden. No.
Well, if we're still going with meta things, you can make his name Dirk.
Dirk?
Darkling Dirk.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. What was the name of your hero again?
Korok, K-O-R...
No, I'm sorry, the guy who inspired you.
Sidon.
S-I-D-O-N. The Great.
You stuck together after all was said and done. Why? How do you keep in contact?
What year is this technically?
What's your real name?
Calvin now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like earlier you said the 2000s, but I didn't know if we were farther forward.
It's like
Modern day, though.
Yeah.
Well, enough that we could text. I mean, if that's what
Right,
you're
or
asking.
fall and things like that.
Do we have like really...
Does AIM still exist?
No. Actually, it's funny, the innocent of the other group, Adam's character, he's from the past, and he traveled to the future.
Oh god.
It's great. He's from 1949, and this girl was hitting on him in school, and she was like, "Can I get your cell number?" And he's like, "I don't know what that is." And then she said, "That's fine, I'll just find you on Twitter," and then walked away. That's great. So you guys keep in touch using phones, or do you plant memories that they're supposed to meet you places? Like this existed?
Am I like...
I have the latest technology.
Do I have that ability to like, just like, vibrate information to them through their memories and be like...
Remember when we set up this meeting that we're supposed to have?
I remember now that I'm late.
I think cell phones, computers, things
Okay,
like
just
that.
typical mundane ways.
Yeah.
Bird messaging, I don't know. Bees, no.
A pigeon carrier, that sounds good.
Pigeon carrier,
Robot
smoke
pigeon
signals.
carrier.
Why is it a robot? Why not just text at that point?
Take all the fun out of it.
Korok spells messages out in sand.
I chose white. Not Middle Eastern, thank you. So I'm kind of thinking I should have just chosen Middle Eastern.
Microaggression. Okay, the final question. We found signs that this incident was just the start of something bigger. What were the signs?
Well, he got away. We didn't.
Did he
He's
get
still
away
large.
with something? Like, did he actually get away with, like, a relic and we're like, that's really important? He needs that for something?
It's your enemy. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. I think the relic is like an ancient spear.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense for him.
Who did we stop again?
Van Pelt.
Okay, yeah.
He's the poacher.
So that means he's an enemy from my old life. No, wait. My old life was villainy, though.
He's a villain.
But would I have fought him in my old life?
Oh, villains fight each other all the time.
Maybe.
You can just like have a club.
What,
Yeah. I mean, you might have just known him and not fought him in your old life. That's...
Yeah, what is the actual phrasing of that?
We fought a terrible enemy from my old life. Who was it and what did they take from me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the enemy just means the enemy now is from your old life. You can determine how you know him. You could have been a gopher between him and one of your contacts if you want.
I mean, it makes sense because they all have like an artifact kind of thing going on.
Okay. So we're going to say you were like an intermediary?
Okay.
Sure.
You were the runner.
Do they know this?
Yes, because I chose to talk openly about it.
Okay.
Since I have not killed anyone.
Okay.
Otherwise I would have kept that as, keep out the DL.
I would have known.
Oh, and we do have clubs. Every villain is lemons.
Oh.
Evil. That's from SpongeBob.
That's the name of the club?
Can our like team name be the metaphors?
That's the other thing I have to ask you guys about. What is your team name? The other team is the Super Punks.
The Super Punks.
The best thing is, each of them had their own idea of what the name should be.
Mm-hmm.
The protege, Colin's character, was the only one who chose to speak to the reporters after one of their fights. So he's the one that named them, because he was just like, well, now the reporters have the name, so. It's everywhere now. Which of your contacts were you the intermediary between?
Lovelace. I owe them the most. I'm going to say that they took something from me being Lovelace because I owe them the most. They took something from her because her specialty is cosmic artifacts. So
Lovelace is off of Happy Feet. It just
is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's off of Happy Feet.
Penguin movie?
Yes. I remember.
That's a chosen name. That's one of the names.
It's one of the names that's there.
Yeah.
I'm getting real concerned.
So Lovelace made a deal with the poacher.
Yeah, but then he stole or something that I was given to from Lovelace was stolen by Van Pelt.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, that's why I owe her the most.
Okay. Let me clear that up. So I don't confuse myself when I'm making this come back and bite you in the butt.
Lovelace off of Happy Feet.
Oh, thank you.
That's perfect.
This is Lovelace. That's off of Happy Feet. I was like, that name sounds so familiar. I know that I know it. Lovelace. I'm excited for this.
You said it was a cosmic artifact?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. It's going to be real fun. Especially since now he has a spear and maybe the two work together to do something crazy.
Ooh. Like a Darth Maul situation? It's like the other end, like a back end of the
double spear.
No one can stop the dreaded double spear. Oh, now I'm cut in half and I'm falling down a pit. I do have a few more minutes, so I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to run through you guys' families.
Okay.
So, start thinking of family members. Oh, I might not have any.
They're all dead. No.
Well, no, I didn't kill them. They're all in prison for hot dog theft.
Baby.
Robbers. They were the big leagues.
I feel like it's coming together nicely. I like how it is.
Seems woven together well so far.
Right. It's not, contradicting or like too out of the blue. Like it seems like it's actual.
So is your family members just your brother and your dad? Or
I guess my grandparents, that's gotta be like the thing. My grandparents are the ones that raised me.
Okay.
My mom passed away. My father's gone. And then my brother is evil. I don't think I have any more siblings. That's what I'm thinking. What about you?
I'm probably going to go with the abandoned complex. I have to have a reason why I kind of turned to that.
Okay.
They abandoned me out of fear.
Makes sense. So you don't know who do you know who your parents are as well? Or maybe that's how we became friends.
It's all about friendship. Okay, so you have your...
Yeah. So I was abandoned by my parents when my powers were developed out of fear, and I have a vague memory of them just because I was so young when it happened, which is why I turned to villainy, because that's how I just do it for fun, no rules.
So you do have a vague memory of it, though, right?
Yeah.
Of them. Mm-hmm. Both parents, father and mother?
Yeah. Do I need to give names and stuff like that? Okay.
Not unless you have some in mind you want to give me.
Not really.
Any siblings?
No.
Do you know where they're at now? Have you tracked them down at all?
I do not. I want to go with, I think I've tried, and then I gave up to just survive and do whatever I want.
So like you want to, but you haven't been able to?
It's like...
Gave up because you don't care, or because you had trouble finding?
I think I'm gonna come off as that I don't care, but I secretly want to.
Okay.
But I'm still angry at them.
Right.
And no, not a condition.
I have to ask these questions because...
future things.
Well, yeah. Colin didn't stipulate that he knew who his parents were, so he wasn't born by parents.
Wasn't born by parents.
Okay.
He was a test tube creation of a villain.
Oh. Okay then.
Parents, I know you have the father you don't know the name of.
Yeah.
What about your mother?
I think that my mother passed away and that I live with either my grandparents or a grandparent.
Okay.
And then I have the one brother.
Do you want both grandparents or just one?
Let's do both.
And you just have the one brother, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have names in mind for the grandparents?
No.
Ma and Pa.
Danny and Papa.
Grandma Elsa.
Okay.
Grandpa Gene.
Okay.
So no siblings. Okay. You have Bethany as your parent, as your mother, right?
Yes.
Father?
Not in the picture.
Because no longer living, divorce, separation, just don't know, never knew him.
Just don't know, never knew him.
Does your mom tell you about him?
No, and at this point I don't think my character's probably been too self-absorbed to ask.
You say that again.
And in real life.
Parents are square, and I just hop on my skateboard. Turn my hat backwards.
I imagine it like a razor.
Rules are for squares.
Siblings?
Only child. But I do have a grandfather, the original cheetah, Paul Calendar.
So,
is his middle name Mark?
Date
Mother's
references.
Parent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, so, I don't know. I want to find puns for like dates and calendars.
Is Paul's middle name Mark?
Paul Mark. Like
Paul
Mark.
May we defeat our nemesis.
Did Paul ever marry?
Yes, but she's no longer with us.
Grandmother deceased. Her name was Marie Calendar. Sorry. That's not a thing.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. We're good. Whatever happened to Discord, does anybody know?
Probably still at large if he's like basically the Joker of this city. Since you're an only child, were you born on a Sunday? There's your first pun.
Is it too terrible? Terrible to respond.
Come on, you know you wanna.
He's probably just gonna march right out of here.
Maybe.
I'm never coming back.
I'll be back sooner or later.
Are you Julian?
May we begin?
Gonna make me change his name.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Green Hill Gamer Guild podcast. If you'd like to learn more about us, including how you can support our efforts, find our website at greenhillgamerguild.com. Thank you, and have a great day.